Here's what I don't understand. Why are you booing the first guy who came in here and told you the truth? And I'm not stupid. I see the opportunity. I see it. My wife will kill me. She'll just kill me. Ladies and gentlemen, that is the candy of American politics.
And that candy felt like the main course yesterday. That was Chris Christie's Washington debut.
And as you know, Rick, it takes a big man to take on Washington's problems. Top Line starts right now.
Hello and welcome to ABC News Top Line. I'm Rick Klein.
And I'm Jonathan Karl.
Every day at noon Eastern, right here with the latest in politics. It's twitter.com/Rick Klein, twitter.com/John Karl. John, anniversaries on your mind today. What do you know?
Birthdays, anniversaries. This is great. Can I have a little thing? This is
yes.
Terrible Twos. Today is the second birthday of the stimulus program, and we are celebrating here at Top Line. The stimulus was passed 2 years ago today, the biggest spending program in the history of mankind. Interestingly today, Rick, the Republicans are pushing through the biggest spending cut in the history of mankind on this second anniversary. And I'll tell you, I'm hearing a lot of celebrations, a lot of people talking about it, but it seems to be the Republicans that
That's
are calling
right,
us.
and now your candle even fell over, so I'll have to do the honors here. It is so cute at just two.
Terrible.
But as you say, not a lot of birthday parties planned, so we had to make up for it here on Top Line. Next up today, will of the House. Don't look now, but Speaker John Boehner is losing some votes, including one on that infamous second engine from the F-35 fighter. We're seeing a different style of leadership, John, and Speaker Boehner told Carl Hulse of the New York Times, that we'll have on later in the program, that he doesn't mind seeing things go down every once in a while, that it's a different kind of leadership, and it's okay for him to lose every once in a while, but it's atypical. It's not often that the Speaker loses votes.
And I have got to say, you have to give him credit. I don't know where this is going, but we have seen for years under Republican leadership and Democratic leadership in the House that the bills don't come to the floor unless you know they are going to pass. And now we have this open amendment process. This is the will of the House.
Interesting votes, at least.
All right, the hunt is on. I talked yesterday with a senior member of the political team that John Huntsman has put together, and they tell me that they are planning an aggressive run for president, that he is virtually certain to jump in the race, strongly leaning in that direction. His term officially is up on April 30th. Rick, I'm told he's actually going to leave China on April 29th. He's going to come right to Washington and begin planning his first trip to New Hampshire.
Yeah, wow, it is going to be a rocket trip for him. A lot of skepticism out there as to whether you can capture the nomination as President Obama's former ambassador to China, of all places,
Yes.
But he does appear to be giving it a run. And finally today, it's Christie's sacrifice. New Jersey Governor Chris Christie is so not running for president. He even joked yesterday that he may have to kill himself to prove it. Of course, John, he delivered that whole message while speaking to a conservative think tank in Washington, which of course shows that this man is only interested in being governor of New Jersey.
Yes, he's definitely running for president. Right?
That basically seals it.
There it is.
Seals it right there. You heard it. More news here on Top Line. We're thrilled to be joined now up on Capitol Hill by Congressman Emanuel Cleaver, a Democrat of Missouri and chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus. And Congressman, I want to start with the reaction that you and your fellow caucus members put out to the president's budget. You were pretty rough on him. What do you think happened, and what would this budget that the president do due to some critical priorities for you and some other members of Congress?
Well, we weren't rough on the president. We were rough on the budget. We understand that the president has been put in an awkward spot, and the president realized that he had to make cuts across the board so that he wouldn't be accused of trying to reduce cuts in areas that were supported heavily by his base. So he cut Community Development Block Grant, the LIHEAP program that puts fuel cost away from the poorest people. And we have to disagree with those proposals, but disagreement shouldn't be interpreted as disaffection. We must respond to this budget because, frankly, it's not exactly what we would do, and there are a lot of people who are opposed to some components of it, but when you compare that with the CR, the two are so dramatically different that I label the CR a nervous breakdown on paper. And I think the president's budget is not something that I would like to approve, but it's dramatically better than what we've seen with the CR.
Okay, but Congressman, what do you do? You've got a $1.65 trillion deficit shortfall just this year. doesn't the president need to be putting out cuts? I mean, a lot of the editorial criticism of the president's budget was actually that it didn't go anywhere near far enough in terms of its cuts.
Well, look, when your debt is 62% of GDP, you've got a problem, and the potential for it going higher, you've got a problem. So we've got to do something. But look, let's try not to have the American public tricked with regards to what's going on up here in Washington. And it is this: everyone knows that when one side proposes, the other side opposes, and so this posturing goes on. Nobody right now is really trying to solve the problems. If you're talking about cutting $300 million out of a $1.7 trillion budget, and the $300 million is cutting community development block grant program money that every mayor in the country, whether he or she is a Republican or Democrat, supports, we're not dealing with trying to reduce the debt. And I think, until we're really willing to cut defense, when we're willing to close bases all around the planet. We have bases in Europe that have been there since World War II. It makes no sense. When we're willing to make some dramatic changes in terms of stop borrowing money from the Social Security trust funds, then I think we can actually say we're trying to deal with the debt. We are not trying to deal with the debt right now, and the president knows that that if he comes out with something dealing with entitlements, he's going to be attacked. And frankly, the Republicans are saying the same thing, and that's because we have gotten into this spot in Congress that helps us create a broken government where we're just simply not working together.
To be
as
clear,
a mayor,
Congressman, I just want to ask you, just to be clear, that you say you're not attacking the president, you're attacking the budget, but it's his budget proposal we're talking about. That's the only thing that's on the table right now. Why do you think he put this forward? Do you think it's actually in conflict with his own principles as a leader of the Democratic Party?
Yeah, I mean, as a former community organizer, I can tell you that President Barack Obama did not want to cut community development block grants. If he were a community organizer today and we had John Doe in the White House, he would be saying the same thing I'm saying, that we shouldn't be cutting there. But he's in the White House, and he's trying to make sure, I think, that the other side doesn't criticize him for just making cuts in areas that Democrats can forgive.
So we only have a little bit of time here left. Can you just give me your sense? What is the real world damage that you would see, the real world impact by these cuts that we are seeing called for in the president's budget?
Well, in the president's budget, when you talk about taking money out of the Community Development Block Grant Program, you're talking about taking money out of YMCA child care centers. You're talking about reducing the economic development in the urban core. When you talk about cutting LIHEAP, you're talking about older people who are going to struggle next winter to pay their utility bills. And when you think about the fact that the people who are suffering are not just lazy, shiftless people who want to live off the public dole. These are firefighters and teachers and government workers who've been laid off through no fault of their own, and they're having a difficult time. We're in the middle of a recession, and the only people pumping money into the economy is the federal government. We stopped doing that, and as Ben Bernanke has warned us, a complete retreat of spending federal dollars is dangerous.
All right. Congressman Emanuel Cleaver, Democrat of Missouri, chairman of the Congressional Black Caucus. Thanks for being here on Top Line. Really appreciate it.
Good to be with you.